So how is it going, Dank Division? Dank Dan here, and if you read the title and you don't want to listen to my voice and just want to simply learn all the details, I've already left the article in the description down below so you can just click away. But for those of you who want to hear me actually read out what exactly is going on, you have it that we finally got to see the merger get approved by at least one group. That, of course, being none other than the European Union Commission, that has now approved Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard King. Now, we're going to go through a couple of things that they did, because let's face it, they did this whole in-depth investigation into both Activision and Microsoft just to see exactly where things would go. And here is what they were able to find. They have found that Microsoft would not be able to harm rival consoles and multiple game subscription services, but they could harm competition in the distribution of games via cloud game streaming services, and that, its position in the market for PC operating systems would be strengthened greatly. But in more detail, Microsoft has no incentive to refuse distribution of Activision's games to Sony, which is the leading distributor of console games worldwide, and this also includes the European Economic Area. So just to kind of give you an idea of that, for every 4 PlayStation consoles, a Microsoft Xbox is sold. Get that through your head. It is a 4-to-1 ratio of Sony to Xbox. There are more PlayStation consoles out there that have been sold than Xbox. Are there households that have both? Sure, but there's more people on PlayStation. However, Microsoft would have the strong incentives to also continue distributing Activision's games via a device as popular as Sony's PlayStation. There's a lot of money to be made there. To pull out of that would be stupid and take away all that money that could be made. Even if, and this is from their findings, Microsoft decided to withdraw Activision games from PlayStation, this would not significantly harm competition in the console market. Even if Call of Duty is largely played on console, it is less popular in the EEA, which is the European Economic Area, than in other regions of the world, and is less popular in this area within the genre compared to other markets. Therefore, without being able to offer the specific game, Sony could still leverage all the extensive games in its catalog. Its catalog is not exclusively Call of Duty. So even without the transaction, Activision would not have made its games available for multi-game subscription services, as this would destroy their sales for the individual games. Let's face it, they have a lot more money to be made selling it separate than to have it be part of, gaming subscriptions. Therefore, the situation for third-party providers of multi-game subscription services would not change even after the acquisition of Activision by Microsoft. Now, the acquisition would, however, harm competition in the distribution of PC and console games via cloud game streaming services. Now, let's face it, this is a market segment that is continuing to grow as time has gone forward and technology starts to kind of catch up. Now, despite its potential, cloud game streaming is still very limited. The Commission, however, has found that the popularity of Activision's games could promote its growth. Instead, if Activision made Activision games exclusive to Game Pass and withheld it from rival cloud game streaming providers, it would destroy competition in the distribution of games via cloud game streaming. Now, if Microsoft made Activision games exclusive to its own cloud streaming service, Microsoft could also then strengthen its position in Windows in the market for what would be the highest sought-out PC operating systems. This could be the case should Microsoft hinder or degrade the streaming of Activision games on PC using anything other than Windows. Now, what they suggest for the remedies, Microsoft could easily meet these, and if they do, it would put things in a decent place. To address this concern, you already have it that Microsoft has offered 10-year contracts to multiple companies across the board. They've also offered a free license to consumers in the EEA that would allow them to stream via any cloud game streaming service of their choice. This would include all current and future Activision Blizzard PC and console games for which they have a license. This also means a corresponding free license to cloud gaming streaming service providers to allow EEA-based gamers to stream any Activision Blizzard's PC and console games. Now, as of right now, Activision Blizzard does not license its games to cloud streaming services. This means it is not on Game Pass. It is not on the PlayStation equivalent. But could you imagine if it was? Now, granted, there are a bunch of other things that they go into about whether or not cloud streaming is going to overtake where things are right now. But let's face it, again, the technology hasn't gotten quite there. If you try to play cloud gaming without a decent internet connection, good luck. Your game's going to stutter, it's going to freeze, and it's going to crash regularly. Hell, games lag right now sitting with a fucking LAN connection. What makes you think that it's not going to lag on the go? But that now brings us to the problem. Because while this sounds like a massive win, and it is, you still have it that there is the major hurdles to get through. One of which is that they have to still fight to have the right to go any further. What do I mean by this? Oh, I don't know. You still have to go against the US FTC, which is in August. Yeah, that's right. Even if things get better, we still have to wait all the way till August to see how that goes, which means it's going to be long, it's going to be drawn out, it's going to be in court. And we know how that goes, because that's on August 2nd. You also have it that they have to go through the appeal with the UK, which there's no timeline for that yet, and we're still kind of sitting there. But let's face it, the UK did not hesitate to offer their response, in which case they believe that this still is not good for business and is going to pretty much hand Microsoft the ability to regulate and control everything on all platforms in regards to Activision. So that leads me to my next question. This goes for everyone watching this video. Where do you sit with this merger? If Microsoft is held accountable, as in everything that they promise happens, and we see Activision possibly have games start coming out on cloud services across the board, meaning COD from the past all the way to the present, going into the future, being on cloud services, having it where some services that have never seen COD in their life or other Activision games finally get them. But I want to hear in the comment section down below, where do you sit on this? Do you think this is a win? Do you think this is a loss? Hell, when you do leave that comment, I want to hear what console or what you were playing on. That way we can get kind of a pool from everyone and see where we're sitting. Because let's face it, there's some people who might be on Xbox who might not think this is a good idea. There are people who are on PlayStation who might think this is a good idea. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to reading that comment section down below. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment down below, as well as click that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow us on our socials, and you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever you're doing. Do it wholeheartedly. And this is Dank Dan, signing off.
Get them to click that subscribe button, Dank. It's the only way we can figure out the numbers. What do the numbers mean, Dank? We're wasting valuable time.